Hi, welcome to Therapy for Nerds, psychoeducation through nerdy topics. If you love nerdy things and psychology, please hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comment section down below. Infinity Train seems to be one of those shows that has fallen through the cracks. A quick Google search yielded far fewer hits than I would have expected for a show of this caliber. I first heard of the show almost 2 years ago, back when the test pilot was posted on YouTube, and I loved it. It had all the makings of a great piece of animation, fun characters, and an interesting story with plenty of mystery. I was disappointed when I discovered that it was only going to be a 10-episode miniseries, but I've since learned that it's going to have a second season, so I am very happy about that. Infinity Train is all about a young girl who gets trapped on a nonsensical train. I mean, there is literally a car that is just filled with ducks, there's a fart car, and there's a car that is filled with a corgi kingdom along with the corgi king. Say that 5 times fast. And it's all about her journey of trying to get back home. So, why am I bringing up this show today? 2 reasons. First, I think it's a brilliant piece of animation that needs to be seen by more people. And second, I feel that this is a show that tackles the difficulties of dealing with change in a meaningful way. The first season is just 10 13-minute long episodes, so if you haven't seen it yet and you don't like spoilers, go check it out. It should take less than a couple of hours to binge. If you are still here, I'm going to go ahead and assume you don't mind spoilers. So the main theme of this season, at least, is dealing with change. The main character, Tulip, ends up on the train after a miscommunication between her parents, who are in the middle of a separation that is leading into a divorce. The villain turns out to be a woman who is struggling to continue with her life after the death of her fiancé. 2 topics people don't typically expect to see in animation, even though a lot of animations are starting to tackle these kinds of topics, and I am here for it. Tulip is headstrong and seems to feel that she can handle everything by herself. And the more we learn about her history, the more I understand why. In cases of divorce, what can happen is a child can feel isolated. This commonly happens in cases when the parents are busy fighting between themselves. The fighting leaves little time and energy to attend to the needs of the children. This is part of the reason why it's not really divorce that messes with children, it's the parents fighting. Kids can adapt to 2 homes. What they can't deal with is their parents fighting. High conflict parents are not good for the children, regardless of marital status. We even see in some flashbacks her parents arguing and her just stuck in the middle of it. When this happens, she just kind of checks out. She's a million miles away and is not having any of it. There are 2 episodes that stood out in particular to me, the cat's car and the chrome car. In the cat's car, Tulip is tricked into watching a video of her past memories, only these memories have been altered. They're what she wishes her life was. Her parents are happy and together, they're attentive towards her needs, but she's able to force herself to face the reality that this isn't really the case, no matter how much she wishes it. Her parents argue, and at one point she even finds her dad sleeping on the couch with tears in his eyes. Something that would be hard for any kid to see. Children often feel responsible for their parents' feelings, even though the child rarely has anything to do with the situation. The episode leads up to her memory of her parents telling her that they are going to separate. They try to be as gentle as they can, but they are obviously having a hard time coming up with the appropriate words to tell her. She sees herself tell them that it's fine, that she doesn't actually care, but we can see that she's really hurt. She tries to tell herself to tell the truth, but it's only a memory. And with that, the spell is broken. She's finally being honest with herself about her true feelings on the situation. I felt the Chrome Car episode was powerful because we got to meet Tulip's reflection, who is her own person. Her reflection is sick of crying, sick of always being alone. I loved how the writers were able to tell the audience how Tulip is not handling the divorce well through examples like this. Crying alone is something that the people around her might not be picking up on. Crying can be a great way to release emotions, but if it's alone, there's no one there to actually hear those emotions, no one there to comfort that person. As awkward as it sounds, it's actually more cathartic to cry in front of another person, preferably someone that you love or at least trust. Tulip has been trying to cope with these big emotions by herself, and it is too much for her to handle. She's most likely trying to handle them alone because she doesn't feel like she can talk to her parents about it. She may feel like this would burden her parents even more, or that they wouldn't care even if they were to find out. I don't think either would be true, but feelings are not always built on facts. One of the main mysteries in the show is what the number on Tulip's hand represents. We are first told that it is a countdown towards Tulip's death, but after a few cars we learn that this isn't true. Instead, the number represents how close or far the train has determined the passenger is from learning the lesson they need, or basically how good that person is. After Tulip is able to relate her experiences to the villain of the season, Amelia, and come to terms with her own life's changes, the door back home appears. Although this form of judgment seems arbitrary to me, the concept is fascinating. I'm interested in seeing what else the train deems as important character development. I loved the ending to the season. We see Tulip with her new haircut, which symbolizes change. We also see her parents looking awkward towards one another, but the anger seems to have dissipated. We also see that she's still missing a reflection, so we know the events of the train really happened. So yeah, I felt like the show really handled the topic of dealing with changes in your life, especially coping with divorce in the family, really well. What did you think of the show? What other lessons do you want the train to tackle? Let me know in that comment section below. As always, if you liked this video and want to have more videos providing psychoeducation through nerdy topics, please like, comment, subscribe, all that other YouTubery stuff. Bye!